We might have a winner on our hands with this one. So this episode starts off with a riot. The resistance are rioting, right? They're trying to gain freedom over Kansas City. And they're going up against these Fedra collaborators and Fedra. So they're trying to gain freedom in Kansas City because Fedra has been really, really militaristic in this area, right? So they want to gain freedom. And Kathleen is the head of this resistance group. It's not the Fireflies. It's another resistance group, I think. And so we have this interrogation scene. They locked up a bunch of Fedra collaborators in this prison cell, and Kathleen is interrogating. I'm not buying it. I'm honestly not buying it. Like, she's trying to come off as scary, but she's just a middle-aged older lady. Like, I'm not going to be scared, okay? I might be scared of the fact that she has the power to kill me, but I'm not scared of her. She doesn't have that threatening presence. And at the same time, I'm thinking, come on. We just talked about this last episode. We need more time with Joel and Ellie. And you just introduced this character, Kathleen, who's not in the game, and we're spending time with her. Come on, we really need to be focusing on Joel and Ellie because we're jumping in their relationship. We need to see them grow, right? We need to see that dynamic evolve. I don't want to be jumping into that dynamic when it's already progressed. The story of The Last of Us is seeing them to journey, seeing them to grow together. They're trying to make Kathleen out to be this ruthless figure. She decides, hey, we got the information, whatever information we could get out of them. And, right, they told us where Henry is. And that's the other thing. This resistance group is, well, at least Kathleen, is solely intent on finding Henry. And I don't remember that in the game. I don't remember a resistance group going up against Henry, trying to find Henry, right? So that's new. They created this whole storyline with Kathleen versus Henry. And we'll get into that later. We switch over to Henry and Sam, and it was nice seeing them. It was nice seeing them to their relationship. Oh, a big difference from the game. Sam is mute in this, and he's a lot younger. And honestly, I think it works, especially for a scene that's going to come up. And so that's a change, but it's see, this episode, honestly, I'm going to say it. It's the best episode of the series so far. It's the best episode, even though there are changes, like Sam being mute, Sam being younger. Even though there are changes from the game, it still captures the overall essence of this section of the game, right? For the most part. And I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this episode more than any other episode in the show so far. So we get a look into the relationship between Sam and Henry. And honestly, they've built their relationship much tighter than Joel and Ellie's already. We've jumped into Sam and Henry already. Just boom, fresh, right? And they're already showing that relationship much better, much more effectively than Joel and Ellie. Joel and Ellie, we wasted that relationship. We didn't see anything grow. They were strangers for so long, and then in the last episode, they're buddy-buddy. This episode continues on from the buddy-buddy. So this episode, if you pretend like you saw them grow, this episode was nice, right? So we just pretend like, okay, yeah, we're picking up from last episode on. We didn't get to see the relationship evolve. It's fine. But see, the cool thing about the meeting of Sam and Henry was because you've already felt, right? We don't really, at least me, I don't 100% feel like Joel and Ellie are solid. Right? You know, that they're two, Joel and Ellie are two, and Sam and Henry are another group of two, right? I still sort of feel like, because they didn't show the growth from strangers to what they were in the last episode. So I still feel like their relationship is not fully, it is not fully developed because they do continue to grow later on, but their relationship is not, okay, this is Joel and Ellie, you know? It still feels, I'm not 100% sure what the relationship is because last episode, they were strangers. Next episode, they weren't. And then, okay, yeah, we're continuing on from they weren't. But you know what I mean? Because we didn't get that solid foundation yet. With Sam and Henry, we're starting off on that solid foundation. They're brothers, and you can immediately see that Henry cares for Sam, right? Sure, we didn't start off on a solid foundation for Joel and Ellie in the game and in the show, but in the game at least, we saw them grow and build that foundation. We saw them build their relationship slowly over time. So So that was like the only thing, right? So if we just pretend like we're taking it, the relationship is how it should be at this moment, it's nice, okay? And it was really nice seeing Ellie and Sam play. We got to see, I was watching, I don't know how it randomly popped up. Bella Ramsey, the actress who plays Ellie, has this YouTube channel called United Hope, I think it's called. And she plays a lot of Christian music on her channel. It's like a positive message. And you see that childlike look in her eye because she's a child, okay? So that's only natural, right? You see the childlike expressions, the look in her eye, the smiles and everything. And all up until this point, before our last episode, right? She was condescending, she was rude. She wasn't really like Ellie in the game, right? Like I said, Joel and Ellie felt like strangers. But in this episode, they don't feel like strangers. And we get to see that lightheartedness of Ellie. Playing with Sam, I like that. They were laughing, they were giggling, they were playing soccer. They were looking through the comic books, Endure and Survive. That was nice to see. I really like seeing that. I liked seeing Sam happy. I liked seeing Ellie happy. And then the other cool thing about the game is that with the two meeting, right? We've been with Joel and Ellie for so long, and then now we have Joel and Henry, and we get that male to male dynamic. We even had much of that in the game, right? And so to see them, like they're in the game, they're talking about motorcycles and stuff like that. We didn't get to feel that gap of masculine energy in the show. So in the game, it was nice to get that feedback of masculine energy with Henry and Joel. We didn't get too much of that in the show. So I'm jumping all over the place. Let's go back. Let's focus on Sam and Henry real quick. So making Sam mute and younger, you felt Henry's need to protect him a whole lot more, right? So that was a change, and it worked. It worked, right? You felt that relationship. It was different than the game. I'm not saying it's better than the game, but it was different, and it didn't take away from the essence of the game, from the spirit of the game. So it was good. It was a change, but it was a good change, right? I'm not saying one was better over the other. They were both good. We also got to see Henry look out the window and see what happened in last episode with Joel and Ellie being robbed and then Joel having to take down that guy. We get to see Sam and Henry's perspective of that situation. And Henry, seeing that, was like, okay, this guy's capable. We should team up and get out of here. The difference is, in the game, Sam and Henry and Joel and Ellie were sort of on the same playing field in the sense that they both wanted to get out. But in the show, Sam and Henry have people coming after them. They're not really coming after Joel and Ellie. Yeah, sure, Joel and Ellie killed a few of their guys, but it's not like Sam and Henry, because Kathleen has a personal vendetta against Henry. And that is later explained in this coming scene. And this scene is honestly, when I saw this scene, I was like, whoa. I remember this vividly in the game, and it really brought back those memories. The sniper up top, right? And Joel, Ellie, Sam, and Henry down below, hiding behind the cars, trying to move forward to that house, right? Joel running up, taking the sniper, and shooting clickers down, shooting people down, while Sam, Henry, and Ellie are navigating through the cars trying to get to him. That, I was like, whoa, okay, this is really reminding me of the game. I'm going to play that sequence again. But in that sequence, Kathleen pops up, and we find out the whole story. And so in this scene, I was just like, oh my gosh, this lady is so freaking annoying. Her whole vendetta is she wants to kill Henry. She wants to get Henry because because he turned her brother over to Fedra. So her brother died because of Henry, right? And so her whole logic is, she's so freaking dumb, man. Her whole logic is, the whole world doesn't revolve around Sam. Kids die every single day. They die. Like, lady, are you hearing the words coming out of your mouth? Men die every day. Men die more often than kids. So by your logic, then forget it. Forget your whole vendetta, because men die every day. Leaders of resistances die every day because, yeah, they got a target on their back, lady. So if you want Henry to get over this, then you get over it. Like, are you hearing the words that are coming out of your mouth? This lady's so freaking annoying. So Henry gives himself up. Like, he stands up, and then boom, a bloater comes out. And that was a missed opportunity, man. Honestly, that thing was just like a fat clicker in the show. That they didn't make use of that bloater at all. Let me take it back a little bit for a sec, right? So Kathleen is in her room, her childhood room, right? Where her and her brother used to sleep on bunk beds and everything, right? Her childhood room, her safety box, as she put it in the show. And she gives a whole backstory. This is where she gave her whole backstory in this room. And I'm like, okay, why are we spending this much time on Kathleen, a side character, right? Every time we spend on somebody else that's insignificant in the game, right? Because this is a made-up character for the show. Every time we do something like that, every time we're spending somewhere else, I'm going to be irritated because we didn't spend it on Joel and Ellie when we needed to see that development grow. We didn't spend it, yet we're giving backstories to Kathleen, a made-up character for the show. That's where I'm going to get irritated, all right? And the worst part is, we're spending time on Kathleen's backstory and we're making up backstory for Joel and Ellie. They're literally making up a relationship. Stuff that we didn't see, they're telling us happened. There's the point when Ellie asks Sam and Henry, hey, do you guys want to come with us to Wyoming? And Joel immediately doesn't want them to come, right? That's 2 more mouths to feed, 2 more people you got to protect. That's just added stress, added risk at that point. Like, you don't know who these people are, you know what I mean? And then Ellie goes, don't worry about it. That's just how he is. He'll first say no, and then I'll ask him a million times over and over and over and over and over again, and then he'll give in. Like, when has that happened? When has that happened? She's talking as if they've done that before multiple times. That's never happened. We have never seen anything like that in the show with these two. They're making up a relationship that hasn't been there because they didn't show that relationship develop. So that's where I'm like, okay, come on. Why are we focusing on Kathleen? Why are we getting her emotional back? Yeah, we know she's emotionally driven. That's all I need. I don't need to know her childhood backstory, how she felt safe in her room, right? All that stuff, her feelings towards her brother, whatever. I don't need to know all that stuff. We don't know Joel and Ellie. We don't know their relationship. And the thing is, that's not a problem with this episode, right? That's a problem with the show. So I can't mark it against this episode. This episode was still good. They did what they could with this episode, right? Because these two need to be at this point in their relationship at this point, right? It's not this episode's fault that the previous episodes didn't do their job, right? So that's really a knock against the writers. If the show, I think the show was written by the same writers every single episode, and yeah, they didn't pace that well at all. So let's jump back into that sequence with Joel up top sniping, Sam, Ellie, and Henry running through the cars trying to make their way to the house, right? There's one part where Ellie gets stuck in a car. She's in a car by herself hiding, right? Because all these clickers came out from underground, right? And this one old lady looking clicker crawls through the car, and that was creepy. That was done well. She crawls in the car. She like plops back on the seat, and she's like crawling up to the front. That was done well, right? And I think Joel sniped that thing. So Ellie gets out of the car and they make a run for it, and that's where Kathleen stops him. Points a gun right at Henry. At that point, I'm like, come on, Joel, pop this lady in the head. Get this over with. And then boom, a clicker comes out of nowhere and starts mauling at this lady's face. Bam, 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 bam. So she's dead. She's gone. So the group get away and they crash at this place, right? And here's that scene that we've all been waiting for. Oh, man. Joel and Henry are in one room, and Sam and Ellie are in another room. And Sam and Ellie are reading the comic books. It's really nice seeing Ellie actually with a smile on her face, being nice. You know what I mean? Being like Ellie, right? Not just this condescending, rude person. And Henry comes in and says, hey, guys, it's bedtime. We got to go to bed. We got to wake up early in the morning. And he leaves. And then so Sam gets into bed. and Ellie smacks him like, yo, get up. Let's read this comic book. So they're reading. They're having fun. And then they put the comic book down and they start talking to each other about their fears. Here's a big difference. Big difference. Sam shows Ellie his bite on his foot, on his ankle. And the thing is, here's what I said earlier, right? How They made the change to him being a mute younger kid. He's much younger than Ellie, and he's mute. So you feel like he's a little bit more helpless than he was before, because in the game they're about the same age, right? So he wanted to act, I'm a man, I can handle my situation on my own. I'm not going to tell people, I'm not going to worry people, right? I'll figure it out, I'll deal with it. Whatever it is, I don't know what's going to happen, right? But I don't want to tell somebody. I don't want to tell anybody because I'm internalizing it, right? Like that's something an older kid would do, or a man would do. But as a little kid, he's scared. He wants reassurance. He wants comfort, and he wants to tell somebody. He doesn't want to hold on to a secret. So he tells Ellie, and Ellie shows him her bite, and he's like, "Whoa!" And she's like, my blood is medicine, and she cuts her hand and rubs it on Sam's leg, and that's very different from the game. And immediately what I thought was like, okay, Sam tells Ellie. So now, does Ellie have an obligation to tell Henry, just in case Sam doesn't make it through the night? Shouldn't Henry be able to see his brother, say goodbye to his brother for one last time? So that's what I would immediately think if I was Ellie, right? But she didn't do that. She decided to just stay up with Sam the whole night. And she fell asleep because it was the next morning and she's asleep on the chair. But I'm sure she tried her best to stay up with him. And he's sitting up on the bed, and Ellie walks over to him and says, "Hey, how'd you sleep?" or something like that. And then he turns over, and he's obviously turned. He's obviously a clicker at this point. He's like he's turned. He's infected, right? And he charges at her. They they fall into the next room, and Joel and Ellie are like, Joel and Henry are like, what's going on? And Sam is clawing at Ellie, and then bam.
Ellie. Are you okay? Easy. Henry, give me the gun. Henry, give me the gun. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Henry, give me the gun. Give me the gun. Give me the gun, Henry. Give me the gun. Henry, no! Oh, God. Hell! Shit, he's turning! That's my fucking brother! Screw it!
Shit!
Ellie? Ellie, are you all right?
Uh-huh. Oh my God.
Sam?
Oh no.
Sam? Henry? Ellie, stay there. Henry? What have you done? I'm gonna get that gun from you, okay? Oh, okay, easy.
This is your fault.
This is nobody's fault, Henry.
It's all your fault.
Henry! Henry, no!
Oh my God.
In the game, Henry's like, "It's your fault," points the gun to Joel with both hands. "It's your fault. It's your fault." And you're scared because, like, okay, this guy is obviously under a lot of stress, and he's blaming Joel. Blaming Joel because Joel was up top of the sniper and wasn't there, didn't do enough to protect his brother, right? So he's blaming Joel. And it's your fault. It's your fault. And he just turns the gun to him and pops him off in the head. It's like, what did I do? What did I do? It's your fault. It's your fault. First he blamed himself, then he's blaming Joel, and then pops himself in the head. Boom. In the show, he's like, what did I do? What did I do? Henry, what did you do? Boom, kills himself. Both were done well. Honestly, I feel like if Henry didn't say anything in the show, if he just popped the kid and just looked and like didn't really say, what did I do? What did I do? I know he did say, what did I do in the game? But if he didn't say, what did I do? What did I do? And he just like is like overwhelmed, like, what did I just do? Not saying it out loud and just takes the gun and pops him in the head, just silently. I feel like that would have been more impactful, actually. I know I've been saying the show needs to stay true to the game all this while, and I'm saying it would have been more impactful if they didn't follow the game in this instance. But I'm just saying that's what I felt when I was watching the show. But both versions were done well. Here's the thing. A lot of people with the previous episodes are saying, the show is just as good as the game. In this instance, I can see that argument, right? Even though it's different from the game, it is done well, right? Up until now, a lot of the stuff that's been happening, it's been different from the game and it's been worse. So why are you making changes? At least with this, with Sam being mute, it adds a different dynamic. And it works with what they're doing on the show, right? Yes, it's different from the game, but it captures the essence of the game, and it does that well, and it does what it's doing well. So I enjoyed this episode. By far, best episode of the show so far for me. So that's done with. They bury Joel. They bury Sam and Henry, and Ellie walks off. And she's like, come on, let's go. And Joel turns around and follows her off, and then the episode ends. The end credit song works very well. It works very well with the vibe of this episode, as it flows right into the end credit song. The music was good, and I liked it. They used more of a soundtrack from the game in this episode. Best episode, honestly, best episode of the show so far, by far. But yeah, let me know, what did you guys think about the episode? I liked it. Yeah, there were differences from the show and the game. Like, we didn't get to see that moment with Sam and Henry betraying Joel and Ellie, right? They went ahead and left him behind. We didn't see that. And yeah, there were some problems with the show, like Kathleen, and some inherited problems from the previous episodes. Like, we didn't get to see Joel and Ellie grow. But looking at this episode, I think it's the best episode. So what did you guys think about the episode? Let me know down in the comment section. And I will see you guys in episode 6. Take care. Bye-bye.